I was 11 years old when my parents left for Portugal and told me I was responsible enough to stay home alone for 4 weeks. They left me with $150 in cash, a list of emergency numbers I was only supposed to use if the house was literally on fire, and a freezer full of frozen dinners they said would definitely be enough. My name is Lila Monroe, and this is the story of how I learned that some parents treat their children like houseplants, something that will probably survive if you remember to water it once before you leave. It was the second week of June. School had just ended. My parents, Jessica and Marcus Monroe, had been planning their trip since March. I'd watched them research hotels, compare flight prices, argue about whether to splurge on the wine tour in the Douro Valley. "This is our chance," my mother kept saying over dinner, "before Lila gets into high school and we're stuck doing college tours and all that boring parent stuff." I was sitting right across from her. The morning they left, my father woke me up at 5:30. "Lila, we're heading out." I sat up, still foggy with sleep. He was standing in my doorway with both suitcases already by the stairs. "There's money on the kitchen table. Mrs. Brennan, 2 doors down, has our contact info if something happens. Don't answer the door for strangers. Don't use the stove unsupervised. We'll check in when we can." "When are you coming back?" 4 weeks, maybe 5 if we decide to extend. You'll be fine. You're 11, not a baby. This is good practice for independence." My mother appeared behind him, scrolling through her phone. "Lila, hun, remember to water the plants on Thursdays and take the trash out on Tuesday nights. Oh, and if anyone asks, tell them Aunt Kelly is staying with you." "But she's not." "I know, but people get weird about this stuff. Just say she is." Then they were gone. The front door clicked shut, the Uber pulled away. I stood at my bedroom window and watched the taillights disappear down our quiet suburban street. The house felt different immediately, bigger, emptier, like it was holding its breath. I went downstairs. The money was on the kitchen table, held down by the pepper shaker. 5 20s, 5 10s, a yellow sticky note on top. "Budget carefully. Love you, Mom." $150 for 4 weeks, for everything. I counted it twice. Then I opened the freezer. Frozen lasagna, frozen chicken nuggets, frozen burritos, frozen pizza. Maybe 15 meals total if I stretched them. I did the math in my head. 4 weeks, 28 days, 3 meals a day, 84 meals. I had frozen food for 15. The first day felt like an adventure. I made myself chocolate chip pancakes for breakfast, something my mother never let me have on weekdays. I watched cartoons until noon. I didn't change out of my pajamas. It felt like freedom. But by evening, the house was too quiet. I heated up a frozen burrito in the microwave, ate it standing up at the counter, and realized I didn't know what to do with myself. I went to bed at 8:30 because I didn't want to be awake in the empty house after dark. My mother called on day 3. It was morning for me, late afternoon for her. "Hello, Lila. Hi, sweetie. How's it going?" "It's okay." "Good, good. We're having the most incredible time. The beaches here are unreal. Your dad and I are about to go on a sunset boat cruise. I wish you could see it." But not enough to bring me.
"Are you eating?" she asked. "Yeah." "Great, okay, we have to run. The boat leaves in 20 minutes. Love you, be good." She hung up. That was the only call I got in the first week. By day 6, I'd run out of the good frozen meals, the ones that actually tasted okay. I was down to chicken nuggets and plain burritos. I made a shopping list: milk, bread, peanut butter, cereal, apples. I walked to the King Soopers 4 blocks away, the only store close enough that I could walk to, and bought the cheapest version of everything. The cashier didn't even look at me twice, just scanned my items and told me the total. $38. I had 112 left. I started rationing. Half a bowl of cereal for breakfast instead of a full one sandwich for lunch. Whatever frozen thing was left for dinner, split over 2 days if I could manage it. By the end of week 1, my jeans were loose. Not a lot, but enough that I had to tighten my belt. I didn't tell anyone. Not Mrs. Brennan, who I saw once getting her mail and who waved but didn't ask any questions. Not my friend Mara, who texted me a few times asking if I wanted to hang out. I told her I was busy helping my aunt. The lie came easily, too easily. I just stayed quiet, stayed inside, waited. On day 10, something shifted. I was eating plain toast for dinner because I'd run out of peanut butter and didn't want to spend more money, and I realized my parents had been gone for 10 days and no one had checked on me. Not in person, not really. My mother had called once. My father had sent 2 texts. Everything okay? And don't forget trash day. That was it. I was 11 years old, living alone, eating toast for dinner, and nobody cared enough to check. And I got angry. Not the kind of angry that makes you cry or yell, the kind that makes you very, very calm. I went to my room and found the old tablet my parents had given me 2 years ago for educational purposes. I charged it, opened the Notes app, and I started writing. Day 1. Parents left at 5:30 a.m. Left $150. Frozen food in freezer. Day 3. Mom called once. Didn't ask specific questions. Day 6. Ran out of good food. Walked to King Soopers alone. Spent $38. Day 10. 112 left. Eating 1 meal a day to save money. I started taking pictures. The money counted out on the table, the empty freezer, the grocery receipts, a selfie where I looked tired and smaller than I should. I didn't know exactly what I was going to do with it yet, but I knew I needed proof, because when they came back, they'd make it sound fine, reasonable, like I was mature and capable and this was good for me, and I needed to be able to show that it wasn't. By week 2, I'd developed a routine. Wake up, eat as little as possible for breakfast, walk to the library because it was free and air-conditioned and I could stay there for hours, come home, eat something small, go to bed early. The librarian, Mr. Patel, started recognizing me. "You're here every day," he said on day 15. "Big reader?" "Yeah, I like it here." He looked at me for a moment. "Are you doing okay? Do you need anything?" I almost told him, almost said, "My parents left me alone for 2 weeks and I'm running out of money and I'm scared all the time." But I didn't, because I was afraid of what would happen if I did. Afraid they'd call someone and I'd get in trouble. Afraid my parents would come back early and be angry at me for making a scene. So I just said, "I'm fine, just bored." He nodded slowly. "Well, you're always welcome here." On day 19, I had $43 left. I bought rice and eggs and a loaf of bread. It would last me until they came back. Barely. That night, I updated my notes, added the new receipts, took another picture of the money, and I made a decision. When my parents came home, I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to yell. I was going to show them exactly what 4 weeks looked like for an 11-year-old left alone with $150. And then I was going to tell someone who could actually do something about it. They came back on day 28, right on schedule. I was in the living room when I heard the car, heard the doors slam, heard my mother's laugh, bright and carefree. "Lila, we're home." She came through the front door pulling a suitcase covered in travel stickers, her skin tanned, her hair lighter from the sun. My father followed, carrying shopping bags. "Hey, kiddo, did you miss us?" I looked at them. Yeah. My mother was already moving through the house, checking things. "It smells a little stale in here. Did you open the windows like I asked? Oh, and the plants look dry. Lila, I told you Thursdays." I forgot. "Well, try to remember next time. Anyway, we brought you stuff. Look." She pulled things from one of the shopping bags. A cork trivet shaped like Portugal, a bottle of olive oil, a decorative tile. "Aren't these cute? We thought of you the whole time."
My father was looking in the fridge. Did you eat all the frozen food? There's nothing left. I ate what you left me. We left you plenty. You left me 15 meals for 28 days. He frowned. That can't be right. I counted. My mother waved her hand dismissively. Well, you clearly survived. Look at you, you're fine. I told your dad you'd be totally capable. This was good for you, Lila. Building independence. Not every kid your age could handle this. I went to my room, came back with the tablet, set it on the kitchen counter. I documented everything, I said quietly. They both stopped, looked at the screen. Every day you were gone, what I ate, how much money I had, when you called, which was twice total, the receipts are all there. So are the pictures. My father picked up the tablet, started scrolling. His expression changed. Lila, why would you do this? Because I'm 11, and you left me alone for 4 weeks with $150, and I wanted proof of what that actually looked like. My mother's smile had vanished. Proof? Lila, we didn't do anything wrong. Lots of parents don't leave an 11-year-old alone for a month. It's actually illegal in Colorado. Kids under 12 can't be left unsupervised for extended periods. I looked it up.
You looked it up? My father's voice was careful. At the library. I also looked up who I'm supposed to tell, and when school starts, I'm going to talk to my guidance counselor, Mrs. Rivera. She's a mandated reporter. She has to report suspected neglect. My mother sat down hard. Neglect? Lila, we didn't neglect you. We left you with money, with food. We trusted you. You left me with $150 for 4 weeks. I lost weight. I was hungry. I was scared. And you called twice. We were trying to give you space. You were trying to have a vacation without worrying about me. My father set down the tablet. What do you want, Lila? Are you trying to punish us? I want you to understand what you did. I want you to know what 4 weeks feels like when you're 11 and you're alone and you don't know if your parents are coming back, when you're eating 1 meal a day because you're afraid of running out of money, when you're lying to people because you're scared of getting in trouble for something that isn't your fault. We were always coming back, my mother said, her voice breaking. I didn't know that, not for sure, because you barely called, because you were too busy posting pictures of beaches and wine tastings to check if I was actually okay. I picked up my backpack. I'm going to Mara's house. Her mom already said I could stay for dinner. Leela, I'll be back before dark. You don't have to worry. I've gotten really good at taking care of myself. I walked out. Behind me, I heard my mother start crying. 4 days later, a woman from social services came to our house. I showed her everything: the tablet, the notes, the pictures, the receipts, the timeline of calls and texts. She talked to my parents for over an hour. I sat in my room and heard pieces. Words like concerning and evaluation and parenting plan. They didn't take me away, but they made my parents attend classes, meet with a social worker, prove they understood what they'd done. And my parents looked at me differently after that, not with love, with something colder, wariness, resentment, like I'd broken an unspoken rule by refusing to pretend everything was fine. I'm 14 now. 3 years later, I still live with my parents. They don't leave me alone anymore. They're careful, correct. They do what they're supposed to do, but the relationship is different, thinner, more formal. We're polite, we're functional, we're not close. My mother still posts pictures on social media. My father still works long hours. They still take trips, but now they bring me or arrange for me to stay with relatives. They do the right things now, but only because they got caught.
I keep the tablet in my desk drawer. The notes are still there. The pictures, the receipts. I don't look at them often, but I keep them. A reminder that I survived, that I was smart enough to document the truth, that I had the courage to speak up even when I was 11 and scared and alone. My parents brought me a decorative tile from Portugal. It's still in the box they gave it to me in, shoved in the back of my closet, because some gifts are just proof that someone thought of you for 30 seconds in a souvenir shop and called it love.